30th June, the first martyrs of the See of Rome. Optional Memoria. In the first persecution against the Church, that of the Emperor Nero, after the city of Rome had been burnt in the year 64, many of the faithful suffered death after terrible tortures. Testimony to their deaths is found in the writings of the pagan Tacitus, Annales 15:44, as well as in the letter to the Corinthians of Pope Saint Clement, chapter 5-6. A reading from the letter of Pope Saint Clement I to the Corinthians. Having suffered because of jealousy, they have become the greatest examples. Leave the instances from the past and come to some of the heroes of more recent times. Take the noble figures of our own generation. Even the greatest and most virtuous pillars of our church were assailed by envy and jealousy and had to keep up the struggle till death ended their days. Look at the holy apostles. It was by sinful jealousy that Peter was subjected to tribulation, not once or twice, but many times. It was in that way that he bore his witness ere he left us for his well-earned place in glory. And Paul, because of jealousy and contention, has become the very type of endurance rewarded. He was in bonds 7 times. He was exiled. He was stoned. He preached in the east and in the west, winning a noble reputation for his faith. He taught righteousness to all the world, and after reaching the furthest limits of the west, and bearing his testimony before kings and rulers, he passed out of this world and was received into the holy places. In him we have one of the greatest of all examples of endurance. Besides these men of saintly life, there are many more of the elect who have undergone hardships and torments instigated by jealousy, and provide admirable object lessons for ourselves. There were women hounded by jealousy to appear as Danaans and Dirces, who endured fearful and diabolical tortures. Yet in spite of their bodily frailty, they finished the race of faith unshaken and received their noble reward. Jealousy has estranged wives and their husbands, confounding the saying of our father Adam that this is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. Envy and jealousy have even overthrown great cities and uprooted mighty nations. Now, all this is not being written as a warning to you alone, my dear friends, but for a reminder to ourselves as well, because we too are in the same arena and have the same conflict before us. So let us be done with these barren and vapid fancies and turn instead to the honorable, holy rule of our tradition, so that we can find out what is good and pleasing and acceptable in the sight of Him who made us. Let us fix our thoughts on the blood of Christ and reflect how precious that blood is in God's eyes, inasmuch as its outpouring for our salvation has opened the grace of repentance to all mankind.